And this is Grace, and it's Saturday.
Hi.
Like we said last time.
Open the box.
Calm down. Like we said last time, Grace got a special Christmas present, and we're going to open it here.
I'm going to
Saturdays
open
with
the
Grace.
box.
Our Christmas present is a membership to
I'm
Lego
a
Booster Bricks.
I'm a VIP member.
She's a VIP member. It was a special present she got.
From Daddy.
So we're going to open the box now and see what it comes with.
I've already built this wedge.
There's a box here. Hand me the book. We need the book.
We need the book.
We need the book to know what all this
Yeah,
other
I've
stuff
already
is.
done sled.
The December box featuring a chipmunk tail. So, is that the welcome letter in there?
I'm already in.
Oh no, here's the welcome letter in here. Welcome to your December box. We love this time of year. It's time for hot cocoa, staying warm and cozy indoors and building with Lego. What could be better than that? We want to first welcome all the new members to the club. That's you. We're so happy for you to join us, and we really think you're going to love it here. If you haven't already, be sure to join us in the private Facebook group.
Yay.
You can share photos from this challenge box, participate in extra bonus contests, and win epic Lego prizes and join in on discussions with our amazing community of like-minded Lego fans. We also want to let everybody know we're changing the name of this membership ever so slightly. Instead of the Booster Bricks VIP membership, we're going to call it the Booster Bricks Club. We're much more of a Lego club than anything else. So we think this describes us best. As always, there is a fun interactive story that connects all the challenges together. When you see this, when you see the red brick,
Yes.
it means it's time to pause the story and build the challenge. Feel free to take breaks in between the builds and come back to it later. So, we will get started.
Mini
This might take a couple
December
tries.
minifigures
Try.
challenge. We're building a lumberjack.
Still trying to figure out why the lumberjack has a trident Lego. I don't remember that from my younger days of actually being around lumberjacks. Special spotlight piece of the month is a 4x4 square. Wait till we get to the lumberjack part. He's part of the story, silly. Put that over there. Let's start the story.
Oh, he has 2 faces.
Alright.
I didn't see that. These are lumberjack.
We're going to read a chipmunk's tale now.
A chipmunk.
This might take more than one sitting here. It's 7 pages. Hello, Master Builder. Look, you're a Master Builder.
Oh, I've already done this part of the
Wait
story.
a minute. Our chipmunk friends need your help. It's his very first snow, and he's a little lost. Good morning, world, thought Ralph as he stretched his little arms and legs out with a big yawn. Today is gonna be great. He opened his eyes and slowly crawled out of the burrow he was sleeping in. Mom? Dad? He rubbed his eyes, then blinked, then rubbed them again. To his shock, all he could see was white. White stuff everywhere, like a big blanket covering the earth. It wasn't just on the ground, though. It was literally falling from the sky.
It's snowing.
Ralph reached out his paw and tried to catch one of the white cold flakes. He kept missing. Then one landed on his nose and he giggled. He tried to grab it with his paw, but it turned into a tiny droplet of water. Determined, Ralph stuck out his paw again and decided to be patient and let one come to him. Eventually, a beautiful flake fell right onto his paw. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. He stared in amazement. Using the spotlight piece, that's this,
Spotlight.
and up to 15 other pieces from your own Lego collection, build the snowflake that fell into Ralph's paw. So let's build a snowflake out of these pieces.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out of her own. Not out of these.
Where are her Legos?
I will figure out how to build this. I think I'm just gonna use squares. I'm gonna make a rainbow snowflake.
While you build a snowflake, I will keep reading. So Daddy's going to get you some snowflake pieces.
I'm gonna build a rainbow snowflake. So we have to build a rainbow snowflake.
So you get to pick 15 pieces out of here.
Here's one piece.
Something like that. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They'll all be the same branch, okay?
Alright, 15 pieces. While you are building a snowflake, I will read.
Yes, Mommy is the reader and I am the snowflaker.
What a lovely sight. Chipmunks hibernate in the winter, but only for a few days at a time. They need to wake up occasionally to fill their bellies with nuts and scavenged food, and then burrow themselves away again for some more sleep. This was Ralph's first winter, and he had never seen snow before. Where are my mom and dad? They were here when I fell asleep, he thought. Worried, Ralph started wandering away from his cozy home and out into the snowy wonderland.
Wonderland. Like winter wonderland.
There were trees and bushes all around, but they sure didn't look like they used to. After walking through the forest, Ralph's tummy started growling loud. I don't remember where we put all those nuts and seeds we gathered, but I sure am hungry. None of his chipmunk friends were awake, and most of the other forest creatures seemed to have disappeared too. Up ahead, however, Ralph noticed a flock of geese in a pond. They were nibbling on berries that were dangling from branches above them. Ralph's stomach rumbled. Boy, those look good, he thought, and he decided to go introduce himself. May I please have some of your berries? I'm awfully hungry and my parents are gone, he asked the geese politely. Suddenly, 2 of the geese honked and swam over to where Ralph was. Get lost, kid. These berries are ours. Scared, Ralph tried to scurry off, but ended up slipping right into the water instead. The geese laughed at him as he struggled to swim. Luckily, he grabbed onto a branch and climbed back onto the snowy land. As he got out of the water, he grabbed some berries that were hidden in a tiny bush. But just as Ralph was about to eat them, one of the geese saw and snatched one right out of his paw. Then the second goose went for the remaining berries. Ralph quickly escaped the second one's peck and ran as fast as he could toward a big pile of snow up ahead. Before the snow blanketed the ground, there was a big hill. There was a big hill here. He never went on the other side of it because his parents said it was dangerous. But he was already running toward it and the geese were close behind him. There was no stopping now. They were quickly catching up and his little feet were getting tired already. Once he got to the top, he noticed there was a steep hill on the other side. He had to get to the bottom quickly if he wanted to escape.
Build a sled to escape.
Using the pieces in your micro build challenge pack, build a sled to help Ralph get away.
I've already done that part.
That's your sled?
Yeah, right there. That's my sled.
Let's finish your snowflake and then we'll pull the sled out.
I'll show them the sled.
I think it's back into pieces and you may have to build it again, huh?
Yeah. I'm okay with building it again.
It's a pretty snowflake. Kind of a spaceship theme going there.
Yeah. You know how, look.
No 2 snowflakes are alike.
I'm doing that one.
Oh, okay.
But in Legos it's really hard, so I have to do it a different way.
Okay. You use your imagination.
Okay, and then I do it here. Oh no, this is for these ones. I'm trying to Get your paw.
Okay, couple more pieces. Oh,
Oh.
let me have it stick better. Blue on blue. Oh,
No, it's okay.
Alright. Sorry. You have to go back a little. Are they not the same? Let's see. Oh, there.
Oh, they are the right pieces. Let me get it.
Okay, and the last piece goes.
Okay, I gotta take this off.
Flat pieces are hard to stick sometimes.
Yeah. And even harder to get off.
And here, folks, we have a beautiful snowflake.
It's the
So now we're going to do the micro build challenge and make a sled for Ralph.
remake the sled I made. So it's already kind of started. This is the only two. These are the only two pieces that stayed together out of it. Hey, this isn't for that. This is for one of my guys.
That's all right. She has Ninjago guys as well.
Ninjago.
Ninjago.
It's Og.
I'm
No.
going to give you a few minutes because there's only a few paragraphs to read before the next.
I don't know. Let's see. So we're gonna build fast. I'm just building fast.
It's okay. Take your time. We've got editing.
I don't want to make this too long.
Take your time. Daddy can edit out the boring parts. Oh, that's cool. That's got a
Now,
remote control or something on it. Where's the... Is there a little bit more in here?
here's two pieces from last time. Put this on this. No, we put this on this.
So next time, we probably won't let her open it and practice beforehand. We'll make it a surprise.
Or Mama, can I just see and then I can't like practice it? I can just see what
So while
there
Grace
are.
builds her sled for Ralph to get away from these terrible geese.
This is Ralph.
That doesn't look like a chipmunk. This hair looks more like a chipmunk.
That's a bag. No, this is my sled.
That's your sled? So you sit in the front and you go sliding down the hill?
So Ralph sits in the front.
Oh, good job.
This is gonna be Ralph.
What's this bit here?
This.
Yeah. Is it his direction finder or cup holder? What's that?
Oh, this is just thing to move this. And then this is his calculator.
Oh, I got a calculator.
So that's his calculator. And that tells him how fast, and that tells him how far away the bottom of the hill is. Those are how high and low he wants the music up. This is to hold his little bag. Look. I know this is Santa, but actually, we're going to call him Ralph, okay?
Okay. So I'm going to keep reading.
And, look at this girl.
We'll see where she comes in later.
She's cool.
Down, down, down
This is
he
what I
slid
want.
in his new sled. All thanks to you. He looked back and all he could see were the angry faces of the geese who had been outsmarted. They turned back and disappeared from sight. Whew! Ralph munched on the berries he had managed to snatch. But as he was enjoying them, the brightest light he'd ever seen, apart from the big one in the sky, started getting closer and closer. Suddenly a large object of some sort zoomed right over him. Luckily its big wheels missed his tiny body, but a huge gust of wind blew him further onto the flat rocky path he was on. As soon as the dizziness wore off, another one started coming. Ralph's heart was beating so fast as he tried to get back to the other side in time. Just before the bright light and the loud wheels hit him, he was scooped up by something and heard a loud shriek. "Hey, watch it, buddy. You could have gotten hit." The voice came from the loud, bright thing, but faded away quickly as if it had disappeared. When Ralph realized what had happened, darkness was all he could see. He was being carried by a large creature and could only assume it was not good.
I
He
think
could
it's
hear-
the lumberjack.
He could hear footsteps and a creaking sound followed by a slam. It was suddenly a lot warmer, too. Ralph didn't know what was happening. All he knew was that he needed to get out of there. To simulate building in the dark, put on a blindfold, and build a pair of scissors using only the pieces you received in your blindfold package. What if we put on your headphones and pull them over your eyes?
No,
You don't want to do it blindfolded?
I can't even see how I'm putting the lumberjack together.
To make the challenge more difficult, set a timer for 5 minutes to see if you can complete it in time.
We're not
This is
doing
the
the lumber-
blindfold challenge. He's later. This is the blindfold challenge. So you're going to pretend you're working in the dark. Ready? And you're going to build a pair of Lego scissors to escape the stocking he got put into.
Oh, this is so Santa accidentally put him in the stocking thing. In the stocking, didn't he?
Okay, since you don't want to do it blindfold, that's okay. Here are the pieces to build scissors with.
I know. Oh, this is gonna be super easy.
Oh, here's one that turns.
Come on, do it.
Oh, this must be a blade.
Alright. How does this turn? Is this the one that turns? Come on.
Like there should be another one of those, huh?
Another blade.
It's to explore your creativity, kid. They don't give you the right pieces to just let you make something that actually looks like scissors.
You just have to make something that you think might look like scissors.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put this back here. Need 4.
Maybe start with the handle.
What's the handle? What's the handle? Handle's gonna be this. This is the handle.
When you have scissors, here's the picture. Don't they crisscross?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how to make this part.
Maybe start it up further. Oh, darn.
I'm gonna make the handles how I want to.
Alright. Using the trusty pair of scissors you just built,
Which I am still working on.
that's fine. Ralph was able to cut a hole in the stocking big enough for him to escape. He jumped out and headed for the only familiar looking thing he could see. a big fluffy tree. This one had more things on it, but at least it felt like home. And there was none of that cold white stuff that got covered the ground outside. As Ralph buried himself deep within the branches of the tree, he saw the creature that had captured him. It was looking around, and Ralph knew he had to be extremely still. The creature walked right up to the tree and moved a couple of branches, looking for Ralph. It was then that Ralph finally got a good look at the big creature in front of him. I think it's called a lumberjack. The ones who cut down our homes. Oh, that's very good, Grace.
Here's our lumberjack set, I think.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is the lumberjack.
Mom said to stay away from these creatures, he thought. He wanted to get a good glimpse in case he ever made it out alive to tell his family.
These pictures instead of pictures.
Using your minifigure challenge pack,
Not a minifigure?
build the lumberjack that scooped up Ralph.
Okay. Never mind. I guess this is to hold the flag. I'm guessing it goes the other way. How do you put this in? Okay.
All right.
Oh, his hat is falling off.
There's a shovel and some flag bits. Oh, looks like some binoculars. Oh, what's this?
Crown, crystal, don't know. Ooh, it could be a lumberjack crown. You could stick it on his head.
King of the Lumberjacks. There we go.
There we go. He's king of the
It's a shovel.
Oh, king of the lumberjacks usually had to go one of these. Okay. I am ready to put his binoculars in.
I think he stands up on this.
Yeah, he does. I need to take him off.
All right.
Oh, hang on, I gotta put his hand up.
To Ralph's surprise, the lumberjack stopped looking in the tree, even though their eyes met. The large creature just sat down in a big chair with a warm, glowy hole in the wall, with chopped up pieces of trees at the bottom. Maybe it didn't see me. I need to find a way to sneak out of here, he thought. Just as he started looking around the room, planning a way out, the lumberjack pulled out a big bowl of nuts. Ralph's full attention was suddenly focused on those delicious-looking nuts. They were much bigger than the ones he normally ate. Maybe these were special ones. The lumberjack grabbed one of the biggest nuts he'd ever seen and put it in the mouth of his wooden contraption that kind of looked like a mini version of a lumberjack, but was not alive. When the mouth closed on top of the shell of the nut, it cracked. What an odd contraption! A thing that cracks nuts. A nutcracker.
Nutcracker.
Why doesn't he just use his teeth? Ralph thought. Out of the shell came a delicious-looking nut,
Because he's not a squirrel.
chipmunks. And the lumberjack immediately ate it. This happened a few more times with different kinds of nuts, and Ralph's eyes were still glued to the scene. After about the fifth one, the lumberjack let out a frustrated sound. It seemed the nut cracking contraption had broken and would no longer crack the nuts. The man seemed upset and put the bowl down next to him. He just stared into the glowy warm light beside him.
And then it's behind him, his other plate.
The lumberjack wasn't paying attention to the nuts anymore, so Ralph crawled out of the tree and over to where the bowl was. He jumped inside, surrounded by so many amazing smells, and grabbed the biggest one he could. He could barely get his mouth open wide enough to get the nut inside, so he ended up gnawing on it. It didn't budge. He tried and tried, and even went for some smaller ones, but their shells were just too hard. By then the lumberjack saw him, but didn't make any sudden moves. He just laughed and said, "I bet these are a lot harder than the ones you're used to. Too bad my nutcracker broke." Ralph finally understood the importance of that odd-looking contraption. Let's help them out. Using only the pieces given in your premier challenge, build a nutcracker for Ralph and the lumberjack to use to crack all these delicious nuts.
So here's gonna be some teeth on his long throat.
Where's the extras?
Stuff she didn't need.
I can't get it on.
Where do you want it?
I'm trying to get it on one piece.
Right here.
So it won't stick on. Oh, Mommy.
What?
You can't bite there. You're gonna be biting it.
Oh, well, let's try it this
Whoa.
way then. So it looks more like a... These are the teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not gonna have an eyes or nose. I'm just gonna like make a.
Let's get her breath.
I'm just gonna make a mouse. To not to crap. Never mind. I don't
Hold on,
need
hold on.
that. I can just make a mouse myself.
But those are a lot more complicated than they were when I was little. Is that the bottom part where the teeth, where it goes like that?
No,
No?
that's it. I'm just
Put it on
going. I'm
there. Is
making.
it gonna stand on legs?
No, I'm just making my mouth. Right now. How I want it. Without teeth. It doesn't need teeth.
Oh, there's some teeth.
Thanks. Okay, let's put the teeth on. Gotta.
Oh. Maybe that's the part that lifts the nut up. This goes in here?
Yeah, this goes like here. No.
Yeah, what does this one do? Here, let me see.
The nut
There's no,
lifts up on this side.
there's no piece in there to connect to that,
To this?
to the pivot point.
Okay, we don't need teeth. Never mind.
I think you need teeth. What are you gonna crack in that one?
Legos are hard. Wood is hard. It's made out of wood.
I see.
Nutcrackers are only made out of wood
Are they?
and paint.
We have a nutcracker in here somewhere.
We have a bunch of nutcrackers.
Check that out. See, there's the lifty part.
Okay, hang on, Mama. I need this.
Alright, we'll finish the story while you finish that. With the new nutcracker, the lumberjack cracked a nut and handed it to Ralph. He was hesitant at first, but he just couldn't resist. Then he was given
I'm gonna make a
another,
nut.
and another, and another. He did not feel any threat from the lumberjack and decided it was a nice creature after all. Ralph ate so many nuts, some with flavors he'd never had before. The warmth coming from the fire and the satisfaction of a full belly made Ralph's eyes very heavy. Soon enough, he was fast asleep on a pillow next to the lumberjack. When he awoke, the lumberjack had scooped him up in his hands. He brought him over to the big creaky door they entered through, and Ralph started to panic. "No, I like it here. It's warm and there's so many nuts," he thought. As he opened the door, Ralph's worries fled. There, on the ground, was a path of nuts leading to his parents. The lumberjack must have cracked a bunch of nuts and set up a trail for his parents to come find him. Ralph jumped out and greeted them. They explained that they had just gone out to get
Here's
some
the new
food while he was
nutcracker.
still asleep, and when they came back, their little Ralph was gone. The chipmunk parents were grateful for the human lumberjack and took their little baby back to the safety of their home. Thanks for your help. Until next time, keep building. I think you could make this the nut. You could stand it. Look, what if it stood up like this?
No, this is a nut.
Look at this. It stands up
No,
like a
no,
person.
Mama.
She is just not
I
gonna
found a
accept
brown
that.
piece. The nut.
That's the nut.
Here's another nut.
How many nuts? And then again.
There's nuts on top of nuts.
Yep, there it is. And there's our awesome lumberjack guy standing out there looking for chipmunks in distress.
And then here he is when he was mad.
He never got mad. He just picked the guy up and thought he didn't want to run him over.
No.
No?
It's the part where he gets mad when we pause the story until next time.
Well, that's what we're doing now. Pausing the story until next time.
It's when he gets mad and he can't
Because
find squirrels till next time. We need to look for nuts.
Grace, look.
Here's a nutcracker.
It looks like legs.
It's a nutcracker. It's a nutcracker. That's the nutcracker and
I like
the
this
brown and
piece here.
stuff.
It lets you turn a corner. It's pretty cool. You like that?
Okay.
So that's our first Lego box. Grace will keep playing with the Legos.
I will play the story.
Now
So-
next time,
He's in here and then he's in a
on
stocking.
Saturdays with Grace in
Then-
2 weeks,
He uses the scissors.
we're
Stuff
going
like
to
awesome
make,
He gets in here. He cuts open this
we're
up.
going to go back to our theme of inexpensive things that you can do at home with your kids on a weekend day or after school. And we are going to build animals out of egg cartons, right?
Yes.
All right,
Oh, next Saturday?
2 weeks.
Aw.
Next
Come on.
Saturday you have a sleepover.
Next Sunday. No.
So,
Friday.
So that'll be in 2 weeks. We'll have another Saturday with Grace. We will build animals out of egg cartons. We will go to the dollar store and we'll get some googly eyes and we'll get some.
No, Mommy. I will just. We will just buy some random stuff and I have to throw in one of the things that we bought.
So what did you think of your Lego box?
It was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's a nice story. Love you.
We see you next time.
Thanks
Bye.
for joining us.